Hi, everybody. It's Dana Markson from Coping Skills Tool Belt, the workshop series. Today is Thursday, March 18th, 2021. I am so honored and excited to bring to you Dr. Susan Mitchell for our program today entitled Using Mirror Work to Create a You 2.0. I have had the honor and privilege of knowing Susan for many years. Personally, Susan is a chiropractor in Illinois, and you will tell us all about yourselves. She has been involved with my family members who are also chiropractors for years. She's a wonderful, amazing woman. She happens to also be a coach, and you can talk about your coaching experience and is offering an amazing program that you will tell us all about as well. So settle in. This time is for you. Really like reduce the noise in your head about taking care of other people and show up for you right now. So take it away, Susan.
Thank you so much. Yes, this is a bit surreal for me. I have known Dana for so many years, and ironically, part of what is in my workshop of creating you 2.0 and really who I am as a person or who I've grown to be as a person is thanks to Dana's dad. Dr. Larry Markson has been one of my mentors for 20 some years and just had a huge impact on my growth and development as a human. So I'm very happy to be here. So the reason why Dana invited me is because she caught a live video that I was doing about mirror work. So I'd love to know from you guys in the chat. First, I guess, how many of you know Louise Hay? You Can Heal Your Life. So who knows about Louise Hay first? I don't know if this is something that everyone knows about or if it's, yes, one of my gurus. She's amazing. I've been studying her work for over 20 years as well. And so again, You Can Heal Your Life has had a big impact on me. And to be 100% honest, when I first was given this book, I found it very interesting, but I had just graduated from chiropractic school at the time. And so I had just spent $200,000 to learn how to fix people and help them with their pain and help them fix their physical body. And then I come across Louise's book, and she's saying that our physical pain is just a manifestation of our emotions and our feelings. And I'm like, what? Why did I just spend $200,000? Like, this lady's crazy. But I found it interesting enough to keep reading and to keep applying to my life. And so I really have been studying people's behavior in my practice for, again, over 20 years, and then just really have made it a very big part of my life. She's absolutely right in that asking the right questions of my patients over the years, and I'm sure you all have seen this in your own practices, that our emotions, our feelings absolutely manifest in our physical body. And so just really interesting. So I've transitioned to now I really just adjust a couple hours a week just because I still enjoy it. But I have created programs. I'm doing retreats. I'm a certified You Can Heal Your Life coach, a certified You Can Heal Your Life workshop leader. And it's just been awesome. I love having self-awareness myself, and I love helping others. You've all seen it, that light bulb where they're like, oh, like, okay, I'm limiting myself, those kinds of things. I just absolutely love that. Creating You 2.0, the six-week online program I created actually came out of me going through a divorce. And best thing that ever happened to me, by the way, and which sounds crazy, but I decided early on that, as I was going through a divorce, that I had two options. I could give you all the reasons of why I could have chose to be a bitter divorcee. I had many reasons, that I was wronged and et cetera, et cetera. And, but I knew that's not who I wanted to be. And so very early on, I realized that, man, I have a clean slate here. Like, I really can create whatever I want going forward, as far as who I want to be as a human being. How do I want my relationship to look like with my kids? What do I want to do professionally, et cetera, et cetera. So obviously since then, I realized that I didn't have to go through a divorce to look at my life as a clean slate, right? We really have that opportunity. Every morning we open our eyes, we can create something different. And so that's really what my passion is about, now is just helping people create that next version of themselves, that more authentic version of themselves, and helping them see their beliefs that might be holding them back. And let's be honest, a lot of people don't even know that they can intentionally create their life, right? We work with a lot of people that, and I've this year, probably more even in the past, of sometimes we get pigeonholed into letting other people dictate how we feel and how our day goes and so forth. So just really intentionally living is what I want for people. So there are other workshops and retreats that I offer that I just have a lot of fun with, but Creating You 2.0 is the one that I personally authored. So, but there are other options available that I really enjoy that I've picked up from Louise. So where mirror work comes in, why I think it's so important is that in all these years of observing individuals and helping people, coaching people, what I found is that there's really two reasons why we all hit goals every year, or we set goals, we set these intentions, and sometimes we don't meet those goals, right? Sometimes we never quite get there. And what I found is a pattern, and I'm sure you've seen this as well, is that sometimes we're not hitting those goals that we're setting for ourselves because deep down in our subconscious, we don't want that goal. And meaning maybe it's a goal that someone else has put on us. I believe that many women live their lives for other people. So maybe they're a stay-at-home mom because that's what they were taught they were supposed to do. You should be a stay-at-home mom, or you should be a teacher, or you should be in healthcare, or you should. And we find ourselves living our life that way. So you may have heard the term "stop shoulding all over yourselves." And that was just really big for me. It gave me a giggle, but it also, man, once you become aware of that word "should" and realize that when we're saying the word "should," we're just living someone else's belief. So I should go to the gym, I should do this. So if we can change that to "I could," then it gives us our power back, right? So if we're not meeting our goals, first thing we need to do is look at, is this really something that I want? Or is this someone else's belief system, etc.? Or the other thing is, maybe you really know, you evaluated and you really want this relationship in your life, or you want this professional achievement in your life, but maybe you subconsciously, again, you feel that there's going to be a negative to it. So sometimes we believe that success, I was raised that in order to be successful, you have to work really hard. You have to work long hours. Well, of course, if that is a very strong belief system in myself, I'm going to limit how successful I become, because in my mind, more success equals more work. Oh, you know what? I'm a mom. I don't want to be gone 80 hours a week. Like I don't want to do that. So there was a negative belief that I had to work through, or I would have never got to that next level of success. So that's where this U 2.0 comes in, is really getting to our belief systems and see, where are we limiting ourselves? And then, of course, the other reason that we don't always hit our goals, or live that ideal life that we talk about, is a lack of deservedness. We don't believe that we deserve it. We're not good enough to have that level of success. We're not good enough to truly be loved in a relationship. And I think that's probably the biggest one, and that what Dana's father actually taught me. One of my favorite things on the planet, and it's in my program, is mother, father, teacher, preacher. And so we call it MFTP. This is what we talk about in our world all the time. And the things that we've learned from our mothers, our fathers, our teachers, our preachers, both the shoulds, right? You should go to church every week. You should do this. You should do that. But then also, are we good enough? Where are we not good enough? Are we too fat? Are we too thin? Are we too old? Are we too young? All of those things we've learned from our mothers, fathers, teachers, preachers, and we can choose to think differently. Okay, so a great way to reprogram the way we think and our limiting beliefs is this book. And this is why we're here today. This is something else that we go over in my program, and it's called Mirror Work, 21 Days to Heal Your Life. So again, Louise is all about you can heal your life. So it's an amazing book, total game changer. So has anyone, if you can write in the chat, has anyone done mirror work before? Either themselves or with clients? Hopefully if you're doing it with clients, you're doing it yourself. Anybody done mirror work before? So this is huge, huge, huge. So we haven't, okay, so this can be such a game changer for you. And I love this. I don't know about you, but I have a very busy schedule. And so I love things that are like 21 days, right? So because each day just has a couple pages. And so it's like, you know, I can put that time aside where if I need to sit down and, you know, do an exercise or journal for an hour, it doesn't always happen. But 21 days, a few minutes a day, it's like, okay, this is important. I can spend that time. So I love that. So that's why we're here. So where we're going to start is I'm going to take you, it's called Journey Through the Jungle Meditation. And we're going to start there. And this is just going to kind of get you set, kind of set the tone. Okay. So I'm going to have everyone close their eyes if you would. And I'm just going to take you through this meditation about receiving everything you want out of life. So take a few nice deep breaths and just allow your body to relax. Feel a wave of relaxation flowing from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. Breathe in relaxation to any part of your body that needs it. Now imagine that you're standing at the edge of a large jungle. And in the center of that jungle is everything you want out of life. The physical things like clothes and a home and a healthy body, as well as the non-physical things like love and joy. But you have to make the journey through the jungle to get them. So take a deep breath and begin your journey through the jungle. What is it like as you make your way through the jungle? What is the temperature? What are the smells? What are the colors and the sights that you see? How are you feeling? You continue making your way through the jungle any way you can. Are you alone or is there someone with you? Do you see or hear any animals? You continue making your way through the jungle, getting closer and closer to the center. In the center, everything you want out of life is waiting for you. The material or physical things, as well as the immaterial things. You're getting closer and closer to the center, and finally you're there. You're at the center of the jungle. You look around and you see everything that is there for you. You see the physical things, like a house and a car. There may be symbols for immaterial things, like a heart symbolizing love or a flower for joy. It is so exciting. You slowly walk around the center of the jungle, appreciating everything that's there for you. Touch them, feel them. Is there anything you want that you don't see? Create it now. Continue to walk around the center, appreciating all that's there for you. The universe wants you to receive all that you want. Now it's time to leave the center of the jungle, but before you do, decide what you want to take back with you right now. Take a few minutes to gather them up, and then begin your journey back to the edge of the jungle. The journey back out seems to take much less time than the journey in. So rather quickly, you're there, back at the edge of the jungle. How was the journey? How do you feel? When you feel ready, bring your attention back to this room and time and place, stretch, and then slowly open your eyes. Now go ahead and take out a piece of paper and a pen and just write down, what did you see? What was your journey like? Just journal on everything that you just experienced. I'm just going to give you a couple minutes. Okay. So, can you share with me, what did you see? What was your journey like? So can someone share with me just a few sentences in the chat? What was your journey like? Okay. So fear of unknown, not sure what I would encounter, and notice the fear in my belly. So that's a great example. And then will someone also share, what did you see? Of course, you don't have to type in the whole list, but let me rephrase, what you saw in the center of the jungle, what did you bring with you? Did you bring everything that you saw in the jungle? Did you pick a few things and bring them with? What did you choose there? Okay, so just brought my family back with me. Okay, so wonderful. So what this means for the meditation, when your journey into the center of the jungle is a symbol of how you view your life, how you view living life. So if there's some unknowns, if there's fear of the unknown, for myself, it was very interesting. I mentioned this just a second ago that when I went through this meditation for the first time, she said, okay, go through the jungle. And I was like, whoosh, out my machete came and I'm making my own path and I'm sweating and it's hot. I was like in the Amazon jungle, and it was really uncomfortable but also empowering. So I was very like, it was just hard, and I was like, oh, okay, I see. I believe that living life has to be hard, that you have to work hard to get what you want. So that was big for me. If you had fear, if you had nervousness, does that show up in your life? Dana said, I noticed quiet and also sounds of nature. So there is some peace there. I've had women say that they noticed butterflies and they noticed birds chirping, and it was actually a very calm and peaceful experience for them. So whatever you visualized through this meditation, going through the jungle, there's something there for you to learn about how you view life. And is that something that you want to continue to view life that way, or is it something that you want to change? And then for the center of the jungle, what you brought back with you shows your level of deservedness. In your mind, what do you feel you deserve? So many women, sometimes they just pick one or two things because they don't believe that they deserve to have everything they want in their life. For me personally, I took everything that I created in the center of the jungle, but I put it all on my back. I carried it all out of the jungle. So even though I had relationships there, even though I had friends and family and loved ones, I had an intimate relationship that was amazing. I even put those people on my back and carried them out. So just take some time with this. And as Dana explained, spend more time with this. And it really is very telling for your views and your beliefs about life and your deservedness. Okay. So I just thought that was really interesting. And I hope that that was helpful for you. So from that, once we're aware of our level of deservedness, then we get to decide, do we want more? Do we want to love ourselves more? Do we want to accept ourselves more? Is that something that's worth spending our time? Okay, so the book I've already showed you. So I'm going to go through one day with you. And first thing I'd like you to do is take your mirror. And so the mirror work, I just have this fun heart-shaped mirror. I talk to myself in my bathroom mirror every morning and every night. And that sounds maybe a little bit crazy. And to be honest, when I first started doing it, I felt crazy. I felt really weird. I found myself whispering in the mirror because I didn't want my partner and my kids to think I was insane. But now I do it proudly and confidently and loudly because, man, I want this for my kids too. I want them to learn to love themselves. I want them to be able to look at themselves in their own eyes and really own who they are. So talk to yourself in the morning, talk to yourself at night in your handheld mirror. If you will, just spend a second, and we're not going to spend a lot of time here, but I want you to just look into your own eyes and look at that beautiful face and what comes up. Okay. What comes up for you when you look into the mirror? Was it judgment? Was it, wow, I can tell you didn't get much sleep last night, or can tell you had a birthday last month. You're looking a little rough there. I noticed some I've got my fireplace on because I was freezing and it's starting to get warm in here. So I might need to shut that off here. But so what are you noticing? Are you looking and saying, man, you have beautiful eyes. I love who you are as a person. Or are you critiquing every single little thing going on in your face? Right? So that's also telling what comes up for you when you're looking in the mirror. So what I love about this is in the book, she starts, on day one, it's just looking into your own eyes and saying, I love you, Susan. I really, really love you. And just that alone can be really difficult for people. I've worked with a lot of people through mirror work, and some people cannot say those words. They are just not comfortable. And so she talks about if you're not able to say I love you, then it's I really want to learn to love you. I really like you. I really want to learn to love you. I want to learn to accept you. And that's just your starting point. And I promise you it will get easier and easier and easier. Okay. So starting with loving yourself, today I just kind of let the universe pick what day we were going to do, and it's perfectly fitting. Day 12 out of the 21 days is overcoming your fear. And so I apologize, in my workshops, I don't normally read, but I am going to read these 2 pages because they're just said so beautifully. I didn't want to paraphrase. I wanted to just say it how she said it. And then we're going to move on to doing an actual mirror exercise. Okay. So overcoming your fear. Today you learn about how to diffuse the power fear has over you and trust that life is taking care of you. Anybody experience any fear this year? Again, my goodness. I mean, I feel like that's been the mantra of 2020, right? We've got so many fears. From fear of our businesses. What does that look like? Fear of the virus, fear of losing loved ones. I mean, the list is just on and on and on. So I love this. So look in your mirror. So everyone look in their mirror again. Take a deep breath and blow a kiss to that beautiful person who is looking back at you. Just know that with every day of mirror work, you're getting stronger. Thank your mirror for helping you release your past and reflect more positive thoughts your way. Life loves you, and so do I. Today, your mirror work is on an emotion that can block you from loving yourself, forgiving others, and having the happy life you deserve. Does anybody want to forgive better, love themselves more, have a happier life? Of course. Fear is rampant on the planet today. Amen to that. In her international bestseller, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, Susan Jeffers wrote, if everybody feels fear when approaching something totally new in life, yet so many are out there doing it despite the fear, then we must conclude that fear is not the problem. She believed that the real issue is not the fear itself, but how we hold it. We can approach fear from a position of power or from a position of helplessness. The fact that we have the fear becomes irrelevant. How much power do you give to your fears? So that's a really important question. So I hope that you write that down. How much power do you give your fears? When a fearful thought comes up, it is really just trying to protect you. I love that. When you become physically frightened, adrenaline pumps through your body to protect you from danger. And the same thing happens with the fear you manufacture in your mind. And isn't that true? How much of the fear that we have in our day-to-day lives, we're simply manufacturing in our mind. It's not even real. It hasn't happened yet. It likely won't happen, yet we spend all this time spinning on it.
Susan, can I stop you for 1
Yes.
second? Because we went really quickly through this exercise, and I think it's really potent and powerful. How often are we looking in the mirror and blowing a kiss to ourselves?
Yes.
Right.
Never,
And so
right?
I just want to make sure that everybody caught that, because when I did it, I was like, wow, that's really interesting. These are techniques as therapists we're often sharing with our clients. Positive self-talk, look in the mirror and smile, be in a social situation and make sure you're smiling. And I just want to make sure that everybody got that, because if you do one thing differently as a result of this workshop, maybe that's the one thing. Like I look in the mirror every day in the morning and I say, hello, beautiful, like I would do for my kid, and blow myself a kiss like I would do for my kid. And
Absolutely.
so treating myself with that same loving compassion, I think that's fantastic. And I just want to make sure everybody got that.
Yes, it is so huge. And it's really reprogramming yourself to exactly what you said. The way we talk to ourselves is so different than the way we talk to our children or really any other human. So I totally agree. It's so powerful. And that's what has been so, I love that what you said is that we talk to our clients about this, and I cannot tell you the number of times, and it's so frustrating to me. But I'm finding compassion for myself around this. I will get off the Zoom call of doing a module of the 6-week online program. It doesn't matter what module it is. And later that day, I'll be having a conversation with a friend or maybe my own personal coach, and I will get the same exact advice back that I just gave that day. And so how often are we speaking these things to others, like, oh, this is what you can do to love yourself more, and we're not applying it to ourselves? So huge, 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 huge. So around fear, when you have fear, I suggest that when you do your mirror work, you talk to your fear. You can say, I know you want to protect me. I appreciate that you want to help me, and I thank you. Acknowledge the fearful thought for wanting to take care of you. So have we ever really thought of fear as a good thing? That fear is really just there to love us, to protect us, and being grateful for that fear, right? I know for myself, I've always been, oh, don't be scaredy cat. Oh, just, be afraid and do it anyway. I've never acknowledged my fear. I always try to ignore it. Like, okay, I'm just going to not pay attention to that. So we want to talk to our fear. I believe that we have a choice between love and fear. When you are frightened, remind yourself that it means you are not loving and trusting yourself. So, and blowing yourself a kiss every day, that's how you learn to love yourself more. The belief that you are not good enough is often at the root of your fears. But when you love and approve of yourself completely, you can begin to overcome those. Okay, so the mirror work exercise. So everybody get their mirrors out again. And again, you're going to be looking into your own eyes. Smile at that beautiful face. Go ahead and blow yourself another kiss. And really find the beauty and the love in yourself. Okay. Then you take your fear, and you've got your fear written down. She said write it on a Post-it note, but if you don't, so we're going to take your greatest fear. If you don't have a Post-it note, that's okay. Just go ahead and write it down on a piece of paper now. And now you're going to talk to your fear. So you're looking into your own eyes. Say, you obviously don't have your bathroom mirror in front of you, but what if you had a fear that you've been dealing with maybe all year, maybe your entire life? It's a fear of something going on, and you put that fear on that bathroom mirror, and you're talking to yourself, and you're saying, I know you want to protect me. I appreciate that you want to keep me safe. I thank you. Now I let you go. I release you, and I am safe. So can you just feel the peace come over your body when you say that? I let you go. I release you, and I am safe.
Can you repeat that? So go a little slower, Susan, so that we have time to digest what you just said.
Absolutely.
Because I'm listening to your words and I'm trying to incorporate it. I haven't had a chance to practice yet. So maybe just slow it down and repeat so we can make sure we're getting it.
Absolutely. And I did write this down on here so you guys can take a picture of it too, so you can use it in the future. But let's just say it together. And that's kind of how I was planning on doing it before, but since I can't hear you or see you, but I will go slower so we can say it together, even though I can't hear you. I know you want to protect me. I appreciate that you want to help me. I thank you. Now I let you go. I release you, and I am safe. Just feels amazing, doesn't it? So what if any moment that we're having fear come up, maybe there's a million examples, we don't need to get in all that, but what if you just bring that up? I see you, I feel you, I appreciate you, I release you, and I am safe. Feels amazing, right? So take your fear on your piece of paper and just go ahead and shred that up, tear it up, and let it go. Okay. Now you can take a few deep breaths. We're going to do another affirmation. I love and trust. So say this with me while you're looking into your own eyes. I love and trust. Love and life take care of me. I am one with the power that created me. I am safe. All is well in my world. So anytime you're having those fears come up, this is what you can say to yourself. And this is something, Louise talks about in the book, whether you're talking about loving yourself or if you're working on fear, is say these things into your mirror 100 times a day. So if you can have a pocket mirror in your pocket or in your desk, say these things to yourself over and over and over again. You can really literally reprogram your mind to think differently about the world, trusting yourself, loving yourself, etc. Okay, so then again, her day one is I love you. I really, really love you. I trust life and I am safe. All is well in my world. So powerful in just learning to love yourself. So the next level of this is journaling. So there's a journaling exercise that we can do. And again, we're not going to spend a lot of time on this because of our time, but I hope that you will spend time on this on your own. So you write down your greatest fears under these categories. So we have family, we have health, we have career, we have relationships, we have finances. Go ahead and write those 5 categories on your paper. And then under each one, go ahead and write just what's the first thing that comes to your mind? What's your fear around your family? What's your fear around your health? What's just the first thing that comes to mind in those categories? We'll give you just a minute here. Now, after you've gotten each fear under each category, now we want to write an affirmation for that fear. How are we doing? Do we need some more time? Or we? So, for example, I'm afraid I will get sick. That's like one of our biggest fears this last year, right? Many of our clients are really suffering with some very, very strong fears. So, an affirmation, I am strong and my body is designed to heal itself. So, completely different energy. I am strong. My body is designed to heal itself. Is a very empowering. So, you just take those fears and you write an affirmation for yourself. So, again, this might be something that you've worked with your clients, but are you doing it for yourself? Are you acknowledging your own personal fears and empowering yourself to release those fears? Okay, so spend some time with that. So in her book, she has a closing meditation, and I love, love, love this. I want to leave just a little bit of time for any questions or, if we want to share more. But on day 12, so this is creating a safe and loving world. So this is just a great visualization. And you can take this with you. So everyone close their eyes again. Think of today and every day as a time of learning, a new beginning. It is an opportunity to change and grow, to open your consciousness to a new level and to consider new ideas and new ways of thinking, to envision the world we dream of living in. Our vision helps to create the world. Come with me as we see ourselves and our planet in new and powerful ways. Envision a world where everyone has dignity. Everyone, no matter what race or nationality, feels empowered and secure. See children everywhere being treasured and valued as all child abuse disappears. See schools using their precious time to teach children important things like how to love themselves, how to have relationships, how to be parents, how to handle money, and be secure financially. Then see all the sick people being made well again. Disease becoming a thing of the past as doctors learn to keep people healthy and vital. See pain and suffering disappearing and hospitals being turned into apartment buildings. I love that. Envision all the homeless taken care of and jobs available for everyone who wants to work. See prisons building self-worth and self-esteem in guards and prisoners alike, releasing responsible citizens who love life. See churches removing sin and guilt from their teaching and supporting their members in expressing their divine magnificence and finding their highest good. See governments really caring about people with justice and mercy available to all. See honesty and fairness return to all businesses as greed becomes unknown. See men and women empowering one another to live in dignity as all acts of violence are eliminated. See pure water and nourishing food and clean air being a norm for all of us. Now let's walk outside and feel the clean rain. And as it stops, clouds fade away and we see a beautiful rainbow as the sun comes out. Notice the clean air. Smell its freshness. See sparkling water in streams and lakes. Notice the lush vegetation, dense forest, abundant flowers, and fruits and vegetables available to everyone. All over the world, see everyone enjoying peace and plenty, with harmony among all people. As we lay down our arms and open our hearts, see judgment, criticism, and prejudice becoming old-fashioned and fading away. See borders crumbling, separation disappearing. See us all becoming one, truly brothers and sisters who care about one another. See the planet, our Mother Earth, healed and whole, natural disasters dissipating as the earth breathes a sigh of relief and peace reigns. Think about other positive things you would like to see happening on this planet. What would you like to see in your own life? As you continue to hold these ideas in your mind and envision them, you are helping to create this new, safe, and loving world. Go ahead and open your eyes. So what if this is what we focused on every day? What if we focused on all the peace and the love in our world instead of what we've been focusing on this last year? And what if we help others focus on that? Not just in the world as a whole, but even in our own personal lives. What do we want to create? And what if we focus on that, we visualize that, and we feel the peace around that, and we feel the joy around that? That's where your 2.0 comes in. That's where your happiness comes in. That's the opposite of burnout, right? It's so many times we get caught up in what everyone else wants from us and our fears and our daily to-do lists and so forth. And that's where we lose sight of what we want in our life. So I hope that you spend some time with that. I hope you spend some time with your mirror. I promise you this will change your life if you spend some time with your mirror, just loving and accepting yourself, no matter what size, no matter what choice you made that day. Just really spend some time, as Dana said, blowing yourself a kiss. If you just do that, it will change your life. It will change your relationships. It will change your business. It will change everything in your world. So I hope that you will spend some time doing that. And I hope that this information was helpful for you in exercises in having your own self-awareness, but also making different choices as we go.
So Susan, I want to, whoops, not do that. Trying to see how to get myself back on there, but I can't do it. So I'll just talk. Here's some takeaways. Oh, you do see me?
Yes.
Okay, that's good. I can't see myself. I want to say that this was the way abbreviated version of much deeper work. So this is just a tiny little peek that went super fast. And yes, I really want to encourage all of you to just take notes around what we heard today and pick a nugget or two. So the nugget that I took is I'm going to remind myself to smile and blow myself a kiss every time I look in the mirror. Now, obviously, I have a human mind and I have an intelligent and sharp mind. I'm also going to hear other thoughts, right? Like, stop looking at yourself. It's time to move on. Or, wow, I really wish that I would get my gray colored or whatever, right? And we're going to do both. It's not one or the other. And we're adding in this new technique. Every study in the world shows that if we smile, even if we're actually faking it, we're going to feel better because we're sending chemicals to our brain that we're happy, even if we're not actually happy. And looking in the
Yes.
mirror and doing that is just super powerful. So I want to hear, is anybody have any comments or thoughts? I mean, this was a very brief introduction to sort of taking ownership of how you do your life, right? And I love the little story that you told about, well, wait a second, my coach just said the same words to me that I just said to a client. That happens to me every single day. And
Yes.
that
Yeah.
doesn't make me an imposter.
Mhm.
It just sort of, I have to pivot, right? And so that I'm not always inside out, right? Sometimes I have to look inside. It's not always me sharing out with other people.
Yes. So.
Sometimes I have to look inside of me. And I think the best therapists in the world are the ones who know themselves the best.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I really want to invite all of you to take time to think about, can I add meditation? Can I look in the mirror differently? Right? Can I think about, as I'm outside in the world, you were doing sort of a loving kindness meditation for the world. Think about school children. Louise Hay has an amazing meditation that has saved my life. By the way, it's really interesting. I went through a couple years of some autoimmune symptoms before I got a diagnosis. And I was reading You Can Heal Your Life for the 100th time. I have the DVD, old
Uh-huh.
school. I still have the DVD. I can't play it in anything, but I still have it. She's amazing. And it was wake up in the morning and be grateful for everything. Say, good morning, refrigerator. I'm really grateful that you're plugged into the wall today and you're keeping my food cold and fresh, because there's
Yes.
so much stuff we take for granted.
Mhm.
So I love that lens of looking outside with gratitude. Hello, COVID. I see you out there in the world, and I want to thank you for not infecting me.
Yes.
Right? I want to thank myself for taking precautions so that I don't get infected.
And that's what I love what she says is you can't have two emotions at the same time. So you can't
Yes.
be in fear and gratitude. You can't be in fear and love. So it's flipping that makes all the difference.
Just like your brain can't have two thoughts at a time. Your brain is only capable of one conscious thought at a time. And so I think that's so cool. What an opportunity to choose. What do I want to think right now?
Yes.
Right? We don't have to be victims of our own thoughts. We can actually control the narrative. And
Mhm.
as therapists or as mental health professionals, it's exactly what we're doing, helping people, kick your bullshit out of your narrative. What do you want your story to read like? What do you want to have it feel like? So I think this is just a piece of a much bigger story
Mhm.
to tell here
And that's
about.
yeah, I love the book in the sense of it is 21 days. You're not going to just love yourself today. You're not just going to give up fear today. It's literally building, building, building. So just introducing that work to you is you can again just change your life.
So Tara Brach, who's also one of my gurus, I don't know if you're familiar with her. She's a Buddhist philosopher and also a psychologist by training who doesn't practice therapy anymore. And her book, Radical Acceptance, she has many books, but her book, Radical Acceptance, has also changed my life. And her whole philosophy is that we are human beings, therefore we are emotional. And so we might as well learn to love and accept our feelings. And she does this amazing exercise. I've been in the room with her many, many times, where you sit and you notice a feeling, and whatever feeling comes up for you, you invite it into your body and you invite it to tea. So, oh, hello, fear. I see you. I have about 5 minutes for a small cup of tea. Would you like to come in? Let's have tea together. I acknowledge you. Let's chat. Tell me your story, fear. and then, okay, thank you so much. My time is up. I need to go. And so riding the wave instead of pushing away feelings, looking in the mirror, saying, oh, I see fear there. Hello, fear. It's good to see you. Yes, the rain technique. Thank you, Karen. That's Tara Brach's technique, like her meditation, which is super interesting. And all of this work, has similar basis in awareness and acknowledgement of feelings. And I think it's super important for us as mental health professionals to walk the walk, right? Let out some of the steam out of our emotional tea kettles, take out our own emotional buckets. And that's how this workshop series started, is that I knew that we were going to be pressed emotionally and we were going to be left holding space for a lot of people with mental health concerns. And that turned out to be true. And I think it's quite frankly only the beginning of that. And so I love this program. I really want to encourage any of you that really want to heal your life to consider taking Susan's course. 6 weeks, very small investment, right? 6 weeks to a better you. So any questions, thoughts, comments for Susan or any of the other things we talked about today? I put a link to Susan's program in the chat. I want to see if I can maybe put it up there again. There we go. So if any of you are interested, you can certainly email me. You can email Susan directly. Any questions we can answer for anybody today? Let's give it a second. All right, well, I really want to honor and acknowledge you for showing up today and sharing this amazing work with us. Again, tip of the iceberg. Will Susan be participating in more programs? I'm not really sure what you mean. Will she be leading other programs or will she be coming onto this program again? Karen, maybe give us a little more info about your question or email me directly. Will you be leading any more programs in the future, Susan?
I'm happy to. Yes, I would love to.
Sure.
I love doing it.
Yeah, I want to invite anybody that has any questions or requests to email either one of us directly. And I want to thank you so much for your time. You're one of my favorite people.
Me for you too.
Yes, good, awesome. Mutual Admiration Society. Bye,
Yes.
everyone. Have a great Thursday.
Bye.